this match. So based on draft alone, who do you think is going to have the upper hand here?
I mean, early game for the Gorillas, I think if it goes late, I think Meme have it just because of the Dusa and the Faceless. I think in the last game we watched, the Faceless player had a lot of farm in the game, so if he can have a similar performance here, and I think when we watched as well, if I remember right, he was landing a lot of really big chronos. I don't know much about Gorillas. I mean, I like the ET pickup. I like the Drow strat. I'm not.
Well, just note that it is a different Void player than the last time. This time Void's
Oh,
going to
okay.
be
They
in the
swapped it up.
off lane and Zingle's playing the Medusa.
Got it.
Which is generally the case for the memers. Generally, they're going to have Peter playing the offlaner in Faceless Void, and Zingle's going to be on something else. Zingle doesn't generally play Faceless Void, to be quite honest, just because Peter's just a lot better at it.
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing about Gorilla's lineup is that it requires a lot of coordination with the ET, the Tide, and the Phoenix. And if they can't get that off, then I think that Meme has an advantage just because of the mobility of their Storm, the Venge swap, the mobility of their Nyx being on the back, Faceless. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think that there's a lot going on the Gorilla's team fight, and if they don't coordinate it properly, the fights won't be going in their way.
Over at the top, when we could see some engagement, Drow Ranger breaks the smoke, and Vengeful Spirit is not even close for that stun. The Drow Ranger, played by ZPP, gets away towards the north.
It's almost time for everybody to die.
And they can't really chase down this Memer squad at all. So let's finish introducing Team Gorillas. They've got 66666 on the Phoenix. Outer Titan will be handled by PKO. Sladen will be playing the Wind Ranger. And finally, over in the bottom lane, it's going to be a Tide Hunter handled by Azwraith. So we'll get into this game. The Spirit from the Outer Titan is already there. T1 is actually taking a lot of damage from this. Puts down one of his remnants, and he's putting a lot of damage on this lane, but he's taking so much from it. Lots of damage from the Dire side, and ZPP, he's going to find first blood. And G is also going to be in trouble. The Spirit comes out. Yeah, just not really respecting the damage of the Drow lineup at all. And T1E once again feeds the first blood. I feel like this is the norm from the memers.
Oh, the Wind Ranger is really low after that fight, though. She's got just one pull tango left, sitting about half health in mid. She's healed up quite a bit, actually.
Yeah, she'll be fine. Took a remnant or two to the face, which kind of hurts. But Storm Spirit needs a little bit more than level 1, or at least some more preparation on the rune before he can really be that much of a threat. Couple of interesting matchups here. Zingle, once again, we'll see what kind of farm he gets. I don't think that the Tide Hunter is going to be too much of a threat, but Medusa will most likely not be taking the Tide Hunter down anytime soon. T1 is getting kind of low at mid. There's a power shot available. The Wind Run is going to come forward, and T1E, he's got the salve there, almost like warding off the Wind Ranger. Nyx is going to run around the Tide Hunter. And Medusa's going to be there with some arrows. Really doesn't do a whole lot, but there's this stun. There's another impale from the Nyx. And, well, Azwraith is going to be a little bit aggressive, walking towards the Radiant side, a little bit further away from where he might want to end up going. There's another stun in 2 seconds from Nyx Assassin, and he almost misses the pathing. All right.
Interesting.
And Vengeful Spirit finds the kill.
I don't really know why trying to find a creep wave there, maybe to deny himself, but instead of, I don't know, maybe trying to waste their time a little bit as well, instead of running over to that medium camp to try to deny if that's what he's going for. Not sure. It's like Wind Ranger picking up a DD here mid. She's getting close to her bottle.
Yeah, Wind Ranger is getting pretty far up there, and she definitely needs the mana support. Zingle's getting some damage onto the creeps. Really has to work for a couple of these last hits. Actually misses one of them to the Tidehunter. But right now, the Storm Spirit, he's actually leading on the last hits. He's 16 for 3, even with losing a lot of health on the mid lane to the Wind Ranger. I mean, she's doing well here as in addition. I kind of expect a little bit more out of T1E, but I mean,
Yeah, both the
Wind
mids
Ranger-
with their bottles now.
yeah, Wind
And it
Ranger is
looks like
very
the Phoenix
good in
going
mid,
back up top.
especially when she goes for the no talisman first. Power Shot does end up hitting the Storm Spirit, and she's got a Wind Run available. Does she go for it? Not right now. Storm Spirit still has the Fairy Fire. Tidehunter's rotated off of the lane, gone over to the hard camp. Doesn't want to play around these supports too much. And
Should he get the shower or the shackle and the power shot off mid, dropping him down to 150, but he's got his bottle back from the courier.
Elder Titan's being a little bit aggressive here. There is a bounty rune, and the stomp is going to be there. It does hit on the Storm Spirit, and aren't able to do anything on the back of this. T1E could get hit. He's going to pull the Wind Ranger in. He has to stand and fight. There's a stun from the Nyx, and yeah, the Wind Ranger doesn't really have a whole lot of mana. And okay, they do get enough damage with the Wave of Terror coming in from the Vengeful Spirit, and that's a nice haste rune picked up by G. He's going to get one more slice in the back by G, and a very timely haste rune means that he finds a kill with the Nyx.
Really nice rotation from the Nyx, getting the double kill there. And yeah, the Storm put out a lot of damage before he got taken out. Knew he was going down, got the Remnant a right click off. And then that double impale there from the Nyx is great. Very nice.
Yeah, T1E just doing everything he can to help his team. He is down 2 times already and has 2 assists. He's really forcing his team to try to stop dying in order to help him, because when he dies, it takes him off the map. And he definitely needs to have a good start on the Storm Spirit. Taking a look at Zingle, he's doing okay on the last hits. It's a little bit more difficult as a Medusa. Now at 68 damage, even with those 2 Fairy Fires, and here they come in from the backside. There's a stun by the Vengeful Spirit. The Snake will hit, and Tidehunter in trouble. Killing spree for the Nyx Assassin. He just puts down that Spike Carapace, and even when he goes for that Anchor Smash, the Tidehunter hurts himself. Not sure how much vision of this T1 he has. He does see the Drow Ranger going in on the Kim Jong-il at top, but not too much vision of the supports, and he's just rotated back and is going to stack up this hard camp here.
Yeah, Drow was left alone a bit. Top has her ring and power treads up already, and about 200 XP away from hitting her level 6. Does have 3 points inside the aura already.
And she's also pushing this lane pretty hard. She's keeping the Ring of Aquila up, meaning that the lane is going to naturally push with that extra armor. Aura. Peter's still pretty good at farming, though. Doing fairly well. He's at level 6, so he does have that Chronosphere for any fight. Be interesting to see when he actually decides to use it.
Yeah, Drow Ranger just free farming up here again. I think so. The Faceless has moved down here with this Iron Talon into the hard camp now on his side. Just thinking he couldn't get much done up in that lane, or maybe he's ready to. He has his 6 already. He's actually almost level 7, so you get a rotation here. Maybe try to get a gank.
Okay, he's doing good with levels. There's gonna be a TP in by Vengeful Spirit into bottom. A stun in by the Nyx and the mana burn. Unfortunately, that's a little bit too much damage, and the Tidehunter is able to get that Kraken Shell and get out of there. Over at mid, Storm Spirit goes down to the double damage Wind Ranger, and the Focus Fire is going to finish him off.
Yeah, level 6 up on the Drow now, so that aura doing even more for the Wind Ranger.
Radiant's middle tower is under siege. Radiant structures have been fortified.
And unfortunately, with the TP over to bottom by Vlad, he wasn't able to help the Storm Spirit at all. And is currently at level 4, almost level 5. Power Shot only takes out the creeps. And is there going to be a stomp anywhere on the Vengeful Spirit? Vengeful Spirit has a stun onto the Wind Ranger. Wind Ranger gets into the Wind Run, gets that off, and with this first bit of ball lightning of the game, the Storm Spirit isn't able to really get anything done. And the tower is within deny range, so they're going to get that. Nyx is waiting. He has the Arcane Rune. Tower gets denied. Here comes the Storm Spirit. And Arcane Rune is pretty good on him. And he's going to pick it up. Could go for the Tide Hunter. I believe he may have been scouted out. Possibly.
Yeah, Tidehunter does have his 6, but not enough mana for the Ravage right now. They do go on him. Looks like he knows they're on the way here and it's backing up.
Yeah, with that Arcane Rune, though, T1E is able to get some nice farm from the hard camp there. I really needed some gold there after his 3 deaths already. Zingle continues to farm. If T1E starts to falter, he's really got to pick his team up and not feed, not do the classic Zingle throw. So hopefully he continues to be pretty on for this match.
So Drow Ranger has her Dragonlance finished, just needs to career it out.
It's going to improve her range in the fights, make it a little bit easier for her to have positioning around the Chronosphere, as well as the team fight ultimates for the Dire. I mean, if she gets the Dragonlance, she's able to work around it a little bit better. And also put more pressure on the Zingle.
Dire's middle tower is under siege.
And Nyx is going on her top.
And Nyx has the Vendetta. Let's see if he's able to get good damage here. He's got the Impale in 1 second. There's the Vendetta hit, but the Impale was a bit too far away, and it was nicely dodged by the Drow Ranger. And with that, the Dire can push in bottom. Oh, big damage from the Snake. Actually really good there. And Zingle just narrowly avoids the sweep from the Spirit. Here comes Kim Jong-il. Oh, a beautiful silence from the Drow Ranger. And the stun is there on the 2. Kim Jong-il nearly down. He will get taken out by the Tide Hunter, but here is the Stone Gaze. They've got to get out of here now. Phoenix doesn't have anything, and Phoenix will end up going down. G is basically out of mana, swap in Azraith in the middle of everything, but is that the guy you really want around the rest of your team? Power Shot finishes off Nyx, as well as the Vengeful Spirit. A double kill for him. T1E, he's going to go right onto Azraith, and the stun only hits T1E. There's a Snake available. It's going to be, okay, ball in. Storm Spirit is able to find the kill onto the Tide Hunter, but with him being out of mana, they can't really go in on this at all. Sladin turns around and a beautiful shackle shot on the 2. Of course. Gets a very good shackle shot. He's very cognizant of like where he needs to put the shackle shots in order to make sure that he gets the double latch.
So that was overall 3 for 3. No one really coming out on top of that. A little bit more XP for the side of memers, or the memes. The meme
for the
team.
memes!
It sounds like something you're about to say, like when you're going to do something. It's just charging in for the memes. Let's do it.
That's basically the only reason that they play. They do it all for the memes.
Looks like Nyx wants to go on this Phoenix mid, but she's too close to her tower there.
Phoenix would be a pretty easy kill. Has only just gotten to level 6. But Nyx Assassin does quite a bit of damage. And are they actually going to go onto the Zingle Medusa? That would be a pretty big kill. But now he's got enough mana for the Stone Gaze. And here comes T1E. He goes right for Sladin. There's a silence on the T1E. He has to get away from the Drow Ranger. He's got... Oh no, he's getting stunned, and his ball lightning is going to be able to get away, and he needs to ball lightning again to try to get away from the Wind Ranger. One more hit, but he's going to dodge it again. He needs his team here. Come on, team. Please help your carry. Your midder, he needs someone. He's going to get silenced once again, and they've got to get away from the Phoenix Egg. There's no Tidehunter ult for another 30 seconds. They're going right on the Wind Ranger, who is out of mana in the middle of the trees. Burlog, no swap anymore, and G, he gets stomped on. He's not got a stun. Drow Ranger putting all the damage down, and Zingle is trapped in a corner. Kim Jong-il trying to do all the damage that he can. They got to take down this Drow Ranger, but they don't have the tools, and there's another stun. Ultra kill for the ZPP Drow Ranger, and we'll call it a full 5-man team wipe for the Gorillas.
Yeah, 5 for 1 there. Man, I was just thinking during that, like, I was just checking out the Elder Titan, and he hadn't gotten 6 yet. Did he get 6 during that fight? I didn't see if he...
He kind of had to.
Yeah, I think he got it during that fight, yeah. But even without Split Earth on their Elder Titan, they were able to take that fight.
Yeah, and even with the... I mean, we talked about the Drow Ranger getting the Dragon Lance a little bit ago. It helped her quite a bit in that fight, allowed her to stay away from most of the heroes and not be in the middle of the whole fracas that was going on behind the tower. And when you go in behind the Tidehunter, good things are probably going to happen. If we take a quick look at the XP gold and gold graphs right now, XP was in favor of the memers, but it's now 1,500 on the side of Team Gorilla, and the net worth is now going even more towards Team Gorilla. It's a deficit of 3,000 for the memes. Phoenix is going to be going towards the Veil of Discord build-up. And Wind Rangers finished up a Blink Dagger. I think this is going to be a Maelstrom from her. I believe that's the general build-up most of the time from Sladden.
Yeah, it looks like, yeah, he's got components for what looks like Veil, and also trying to finish off his Orchid.
So right now, Medusa is pretty much a medium item behind the Drow Ranger. It's not, I guess it's to be expected, but it's not really where you want your Medusa. Tidehunter's just sitting here. He's at level 9.
Yeah, I was wondering what he was doing. Maybe trying to draw them in, make them think he's, you know, microing something, or I don't know. But he's alive again.
He's also got that Ravage, and the memers really don't want to be anywhere near this. And the Void right now, he kind of senses that and is trying to push out top. The memers don't want to fight here at all. They need to get an Orchid on their Storm. They need to maybe find a little bit more of an item onto Medusa. Actually, she's got a Blade of Alacrity towards a Yasha.
Yeah, all the attention being paid to the Radiant jungle. T1E's moved up top to farm some of the Dire jungle, but some of them are rotating up here, but it doesn't look like
Kim
they know
Jong-il, he's going to not be able to get that time walk off at the top lane. It didn't really matter because the Wind Ranger was right there with the kill if he were able to try to get away. With all those members top, they are thinking about maybe going for the Tidehunter. And the Storm Spirit goes to the high ground. Not sure if the Dire know about it at all. He's still up there. Possibly could be looking for a kill. He's just going to TP out. Still waiting to see if there's any kind of aggression, but you really don't want to fight with Medusa on your team. And they're just going to try to get her farmed up, especially at this point. They're slightly behind Team Gorilla's lineup, and especially when they're hitting their big item timings, they do not want to be here. Zingle is ready, gets the snake damage, but Nyx Assassin not going in quite yet. Medusa's going to push the lane out a little bit more. There are 3 here for the side of the Dire. And G, he's getting impatient. He wants to get a stun, but there's a Ravage available. It hits. Stone Gaze is still there. G gets hit by the Stomp. They're going to keep him there for a little bit more. And, yeah, G is... Oh, my gosh. I can't move the thing. G is actually living for a little bit. There's not enough damage, and he will get hit by that Supernova. However, though, the Elder Titan nearly down. He will go down to the Medusa. Medusa now has to get out of here. Trying to get out, and there is no stun. No stun available. And the Courier was nearly in the wrong place at the wrong time.
So even though that was that was just a one for, or sorry, that was more than that. Sorry, the recap's only showing two of the kills.
It was a 3 for 2. Team Gorillas took a few more heroes down there, but the Wind Ranger did go down, and she's second on the net worth right now. It just feels like the memers are only able to take care of one of the 2 cores that actually do damage for Team Gorillas. Gorillas, if you say it quickly, almost sounds like grill.
Grills?
Grills, Team Grills.
Team Grills.
I would
Going
like
for
that.
a Roshna.
Yeah, Drow Ranger is pretty good at going for Roshan, has a lot of damage with the Marksmanship ultimate, and she can also slow down Roshan with the Frost arrows. And right now the memers, they do not want to go here at all. They've got a double damage on Drow Ranger. They just want to get out of dodge. They've got to get away. And with Southwest now you can. Swap in. Tidehunter in the middle of everything. The silence is going to be there. A beautiful Chronosphere on the 3. And the Tidehunter's already down. They're going to go on to CPP, who doesn't have the Aegis. And it's actually on the Wind Ranger. Wind Ranger is out of here for now. She's going in against a couple of heroes. Zingle, though, he's basically full health. And T1, he goes in. He's got a Magic Wand available. Vengeful Spear is right there with a stun. And the silence is on point from T1. They take down the Wind Ranger. And the only one getting away for Team Gorillas is the poor, sad Elder Titan.
It's going to swing right back for them. That was a really good fight. I'm surprised it went that well for them. I'm not. That Chrono coming in onto 2. And the Medusa was putting a really good damage onto both of them. A split shot still turned on. Phoenix dying, going up to the high ground. And then, yeah, that was just a really good fight for them. Good Chronosphere.
It just felt like with Drow having that double damage, that trying to take a fight there would have been extremely difficult for memers. But the Chronosphere was on point. There was no Ravage available for that either. And they managed to keep enough heroes alive. And for that fight, I guess, swapping the Tidehunter actually did work for the team.
Yeah, the Ravage being down definitely is a big deal. They're going to have to, I mean, if they fight around the cooldown of Ravage, like they did there, I think they're going to have some good success. I mean, last time the Tidehunter got it stacked out with, I think it was another stun. I think it may have been the Stomp coming through with the Ravage after it. Stopped the Chrono from coming out at all in the fight earlier in the Radiant jungle. But that time, Chrono came out. Fight was in favor for them.
I'm interested to see when Peter gets the items up, what he's going to go for. He could go for a Manta style. I personally would like to see him go BKB. The problem in these fights is, if there is a problem for the memers, is they just get disabled for too long. Like there's a Stomp, there's the Ravage, there's a Shackle Shot, and there's the silence from Drought just extends all of that, even when you're trying to run away. They really need a BKB or 2 or 3 on their team in order to have the prolonged damage in these fights.
And looks like Guardian Greaves were finished on the Tide. I didn't catch that earlier. Not sure they were available for that fight. They just had the
Team Gorillas are grouping up here. Could be ready for a smoke. They're going to smoke. Running right down mid. Drow Ranger is invis with the Shadow Blade. And is Nyx Assassin going to take anything off? He's got the Vendetta available. He's going to pop the... And yeah, he's going to Vendetta out. He gets hit by the smoke, though. And a blink forward. Nice spike carapace. But unfortunately, G, he's going to get taken out by the Maelstrom arrow shooting monster of a Wind Ranger.
Yeah, Medusa pushing bottom in the meantime has her Manta style finish on the way on Courier. Looks like they might need to respond to this tier 2 mid soon though.
Yeah, it's a good pickup.
It's going down
her.
way too fast.
It makes her a bit more tanky and allows her to get away from the Drow silence.
Yeah, also good for avoiding some of the Wind Ranger focus fire ability if she can get a good Manta off in time.
No. Now she's got... And walks right toward the trees. Actually, there's no vision here. Now they take the trees out, and the Manta style is there. Now uses the Stone Gaze. Probably needs some kind of reaction from her team, and Drow's taken all of the mana away from Medusa. Now uses the Magic Wand, goes to the north, and tries to TP out, but the Shackle Shot is once again there. Zingle feeds again. That is a kill that memers can really not afford. The Storm Spirit did take care of top though.
Yeah, he's still pushing up there. I mean, thankfully the Medusa did finish the Manta right before getting killed, so she had bought out at least. There's a slight positive there. But they're going to continue pushing this bottom tier 2 now with all 5 of them down here.
Well, when they're pushing that bottom tier 2, T1 is doing pretty good at pushing top. He's taking the tier 2 tower down to half health. And he is a little bit low on health. It's going to be 1 TP in by the Tide Hunter. He's ready to stop it. And there's probably going to be a deny available on the tower.
Yeah, it's in deny range right now. See if they leave it there or not.
At least they continue to try to put damage or pressure on the map. Sanj and Yasha finished up on the Drow Ranger. Going to be a bit more tanky. 1640 health right now on her. And some pretty good effective HP with 21 armor.
Yeah, the Storm, oh, they're all smoking up here. The Storm is getting close, kind of close. He's I don't know, 1500 or so off from his Bloodstone.
What?
But he does have his Soul Booster going.
Bloodstone.
The Storm has his Soul Booster on him, so
Yes,
he's
it's
going
a 900
Octarine.
recipe. He's got Soul Ring and...
Oh, he does have the Soul Ring already. You're
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
So he's going to be pretty close to that Bloodstone. 12 charges on it right away. We'll see if it ends up working out for him. He's basically at 200 gold until he's able to buy the recipe. And Storm Spirit's working his way up there on the net worth. Has passed the Wind Ranger. And the one that really needs to get some farm is Zingle. He's only sitting on a Manta style Dragonlance. He can do some damage in fights, but if the other team really starts to go against him, this Drow Ranger does a little bit too much damage. And that's only taking into account the Drow Ranger. There's still a Wind Ranger as well.
Yeah, all 5 heroes on Gorillas TPing into mid now. There's a smoke on the Elder Titan.
Yeah, Elder Titan gonna smoke up here. Using the Tide Hunter as bait. They may try to go for a wraparound onto Zingle and T1E. And T1E is actually going to get aggressive here. Goes on to ZPP, and he definitely knows he's got to get out. He's actually going to dodge the stun. And the stun is here for T1E, and he's going to get absolutely blown up. Ravage popped for it. Zingle uses a stone gate, or that's not a stone gaze, is it? Yeah, he uses it.
Yep.
And there is no reaction here. Sladin going to go forward. It's a shackle shot for just a second on the Zingle, but he is going to be it away. And G is pushing bottom, just trying to do everything they can to put pressure onto the Team Gorilla. This is not even close to the matchup that we saw on Sunday night. Right now, Team Gorilla is doing a lot better, although G will push down the tower at bottom. And gets a regen rune. And there's a haste rune right there. Right underneath the sentry. And Nyx is going to get away.
Dire's top tower is under siege.
It's like a completed Veil on the Phoenix now.
Yeah, there's a Veil on Phoenix. Aghanim's was done by Wind Ranger. And Drow Ranger's got 2,100 gold in the bank.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
And Bloodstone is completed on the Storm now.
Yeah, 12 charge, or 8 charges now. I guess he died in the last fight when he had it. Zingle gets hit by the stomp, is just going to sit outside of tower range and go for that tier 1. Other Titan has another stomp available. And he sends out a snake. Gets it out onto a 3 heroes actually with those bounces. And Medusa will take the tower. G gets spit on by the Tide Hunter and a Bray Chronosphere. But now the Phoenix is going to come up with some heals. So the stun is actually going to miss. Zingle gets another Stone Gaze. And Team Girl, they kind of have to worry about this one. 33 seconds on the Ravage. And now Zingle uses the Manta style. Has to be careful. Storm Spirit goes in, gets the pool on the ZPP, and ZPP is going to go down. But T1E, he's not got the Medusa to help him out, and he's definitely got to get out of this one. He's going to zip zap over to the bottom. And he is going to be trying to make his way out of this one. Not going to happen. There's a stun, shackle shot latches, and a triple kill for Sladden. Wind Ranger doing pretty well with his shackles and his control in this team fight. Storm Spirit goes right for the Tide Hunter, and the Guardian Greaves are going to be there. Does T1E have enough? No, because the rest of the Team Gorillas are able to react to this.
Not so winded now.
Storm Spirit has gone back up to 10 charges on the Bloodstone, though, so at least he's getting back towards that item being effective.
Yeah, overall, I mean, I think that last fight didn't go very good for Meme, but overall, like the XP and Gold Grafts aren't very far off. It's only a 3,000 lead for Gorillas, and they still have a tier 2 tower left. They did a good job pushing top, which that tower ended up, I think it got denied. So they're just behind, you know, one tower and a few thousand gold. So if they get another good team fight like that out of the Roche pit, they're still in this game easily.
Roche has respawned. Again, we mentioned that the Dire are pretty good at taking down the big guy. Silver Edge gets finished by Draw Ranger. And who exactly does it help them? I guess
I'm not
maybe
sure.
the Storm, but mostly the Faceless Void, I guess, with the bashes. It's kind of an interesting pickup so early from him. And maybe even the Vengeful Spirit.
Yeah, it disables the aura while the when hit.
I guess that could be good. And also
Guess
does
so.
quite a bit of damage to her.
Yeah, I mean, I guess she figured she went Shadow Blade, might as well upgrade it.
Right.
Not sure.
Also makes her a little bit more tanky with the ultimate orb. And remember that you can always build the... You can disassemble the Silver Edge to build Scotty. That's also possible. So it's an interesting item on Drow. Not really convinced that you need it all the time, but it can help sometimes.
All right, second Roche gonna go down here. Looks like.
Yeah, Team Gorillas go into the big pit. And Draw Ranger is going to take it down fairly quickly. T1E is pushing in mid. That's the Storm Spirit.
Yeah, I think they're gonna come to fight this. They have. I don't know if they'll get there in time, but they do have the Chrono available, and they had vision of them going into the pit.
Well, T1E's got to start running right now, and the Ravage is available. Phoenix just sitting there with the Invis Rune. They actually don't want to fight here. T1E is pushing in top, so they're going to have to go back and defend it and hope that T1E doesn't die here. He's going to do some fair damage. Draw Ranger, or sorry, Wind Ranger. A couple of Rangers here. Now Drow Ranger. Okay, T-Torsing it up. Drow Ranger finds a kill on the Faceless Void. I was too concerned with Nick's Assassin there. He was doing some weird things, clearly.
Yeah, they're gonna barrel down mid here with the Aegis, and it looks like memes.
Well, Storm Spirit is cutting the
gonna
wave.
have to come back here.
So if they lose the creeps here, they're not going to have creeps for a while. And the Snake is pretty good for taking those out. The creeps are... One more creep and that wave will be gone. And the fortified structures are going to be used to just keep that swap back. Wind Ranger uses the BKB and Vlad doesn't really get the best swap there. Probably wanted to use it a bit more defensively there. Spit goes out, and through the backdoor protection, Team Gorilla are going to take down the tower. And they just back up.
Yeah.
They do not want to be there at all. Take a quick look at the fight recap as the Vengeful Spirit used a pretty aggressive swap. In that situation, like especially when you see that the Wind Ranger has BKB, you probably just wanted to maybe use the swap in a bit more defensive way. Like maybe if the Faceless Void got ravaged, You could swap him out, or maybe a Storm Spirit as well. Swap would be pretty good there.
We do have gems on both teams now too. There's I don't know how long these have been out, but one on the Nyx Assassin and one on the Elder Titan as well.
Wind Ranger's still working on the next item. 1,300 gold for her. That BKB was pretty good in the last fight. Allowed her to get away from the Radiant squad pretty easily. Wind Ranger going Drow Ranger. They all look so very similar. The smoke is going to get off. Vlad is going to get silenced, and yeah, not able to get out of that one. There's no swap here. And Zingo's going to run right in the middle of them, and that Stone Gaze will end up saving her. But Wind Ranger turns right around, and the power shooting finishes off the Medusa. This could be it. Meme Regime, they've not got buyback on the Medusa, and she's down for 60 seconds. This is at least going to be a Rex, possibly two.
Yeah, the Medusa just bought a second ultimate orb with a courier, so no longer has buyback.
Yeah, T1 is doing everything he can to just push out these lanes. They've lost a Rax. They're trying to keep it just to one. Nyx comes in from the back, double stun from G. And Drow Ranger's down to about half health. But she's got a Hurricane Pike as well as the Aegis. And Team Gorillas, they turn it around from the matchup on Sunday. They're looking pretty good here. 34 minutes. They show that they're definitely a good match here for the memers. And they may send them out of the tournament, and they may force them to go for the second iteration of this open qualifier, which will occur on Thursday. So we'll see if that continues to happen. See if the memers can come back at all. Medusa is good at defending against these super creeps, and possibly if it even comes to that, the mega creeps. We'll see if she is up for the job. Oh, that's Courier. If it gets... Goodbye.
Oh.
Goodbye, Courier.
Oh, it didn't have too much on it. I'm not sure what exactly was on it, but the
Sounds
ultimate
like
orb
an Orb of
Medusa picked up.
Venom. For the Scotty for...
that was the last component.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. She can just grab one from the main shop. Looks like she might
No,
be
but she
going
needed
there.
the point booster. She just had the Orb of Venom on the Courier.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you have a smoke here coming from Meme? They have Chrono up. They have all their ults except for Vendetta is ready.
Here comes the Storm Spirit. Gets the pull onto the Wind Ranger. That's doing some damage. But T1, he cannot fight against this. And he's trying to bounce around. Trying to stop this on the other side. It's just not enough. Memers, they're taking too much damage from this Phoenix Egg. Not able to take it down. Vlad gets a swap, but that's really the last remnant of his involvement here. 4 down. Storm Spirit still alive, and that's going to be it. GG is called. Team Gorillas, they take this one in 35.5 minutes, and they knock the memers out of the tournament. That's going to be the end of their run, and they're forced to go into the second qualifier. See if they can fare a little bit better there. That's going to do it for this game. Memers are out of the tournament. The meme dream is over. And maybe we're going to try to catch one more game before we end the coverage here. Maybe see if we can see a different team. And also remember, we are going to come back with the EU qualifiers tomorrow. I believe those should start around 12 p.m. Eastern. If they don't, I'll put something on the Twitter. Follow the Twitter at Pithy Lagoon. Follow the Twitch, twitch.tv/Pithy Lagoon. And hope you enjoyed the cast. We'll be back with one more game tonight, and I think we'll be done. Thank you all for watching, and as always, cheers.